Hello employees of Big Dog Construction, and welcome to the existing user video walkthrough. During this video we are going to get to know the resources available to you, learn how to change an investment, learn how to change your contribution percentage, and finally how to take a loan. To get started, head to benefits.paychex.com. This is the website for the 401k. Once at the login page, enter your username and password, then click on your security image below. If you have not yet signed up for the 401k website, you will need to click here on the New User, Register for a New Account hyperlink. This brings you to the Message Center. From time to time, there are important messages for you here. To get to the 401k website, click on the Retirement Services button in the upper left. Now we're getting somewhere. Once the page loads, it may ask you to choose a plan. By default, you will be taken to your current active plan. To go forward, just click the orange OK button. The reason why the other plans exist is for tax history purposes. Once you've selected your plan, the page will look like this. At a glance, there are 5 major sections. First, the notification section, which has your current balance, vested balance, and personal rate of return as of the date range specified. The vesting is there in the event your plan has profit sharing or matching to show you what your length of service has earned you. If you have notifications, there will be an orange box above this here, which will also have information for you. Next is the tabs section, which has loads of important information for you. The default tab is the Current Balances tab, which has the pie chart of your investment selections by percentage, share, and then dollar amount. If you click on any of the investment choices here, a research page will pop up with information about it. Also note that the prospectus or legal document governing the operation and intent of the investment is here as the blue P, though this is definitely not light reading material. Next is Future Contribution, which showcases how future paychecks to the 401k will be invested. On Account History, you get to look at past transactions in the plan. If you want to set a custom date range, you can do so here, and you can even go so far as to export this if you want to get down into the weeds, though there is a high-level year-to-date activity box here which will likely tell you all you want to know. Money in, money out, gains, losses, all represented quickly right in this box. On My Request History, this will show you changes you made to the 401k, such as replacing investments, changing contribution percentages. If you ever think to yourself, I don't remember making this change, head here and double check. Finally, My Requested Documents, where if you have requested documents, they'll show up. Third, the area you are most likely to interact with is the Take Action box. Here you have 4 options, the first of which is Change Future Investments, where you can change how future contributions to your 401k will be invested. It's important to note that the options you see here are going to be a little different from your plan, as I'm on a dummy account. Also note that changes you make here do not affect your current dollars. Thus, we're going to forego this option to look at the second option, Change Current Investments, which has the ability to synchronize the present and the future. On this tab, you simply need to indicate what percentage you want things to be to change them. Also, if you click on any of the investments here, you get that research page popped up again so that you can learn more about them. So, just ensure that your percentages total 100%, and then you are ready to go. But be sure to click the Apply the Same Percentages to My Future Investments button here to mirror or synchronize the present and the future. Simply click Next, and then click Submit, and you're ready to go. Now, a lot of people in 401k stress over the investment side of things. But remember, a 401k is much like a car in several regards. The investments of a 401k are like the engine in your car. We can spend all day debating which parts are the best, taking the engine apart and putting it back together again. But until someone puts gas in the car, we aren't going anywhere. Your contributions to the 401k are what gasoline is to the car, and for most of us, we know how to drive a car, even if we don't know what every part in the engine is for. Investments are much the same. Using our resources on 401k University, and heading to our Curriculum Overview and Guide, or 401k Education below, you can head to our investment classes and start with Class 102, Investments. There we'll teach you how to go for a nice drive in your 401k without all the stress of having to build an engine from scratch. Returning to the Paychex website, the third Take Action option is Change Payroll Deduction. Here you can modify how much of your paycheck is being contributed to the 401k each paycheck. Continuing what we just discussed, this is ultimately the most important decision you will make with your 401k. Contributions are to your 401k what gasoline is to a car. Thus, it's important to ensure you have enough gas in your 401k for it to take you to retirement. How much is enough? Well, we'll tell you the general rule is 10%. However, we talk about this more at length in our classes in Class 101, When is Enough Enough, and Class 201, The Private Pension. Now, 10% is a general rule, and it may seem like a lot to many of you, but remember this is something you must do. If you want to fine-tune this for yourself, you may also utilize our Retirement Calculator option heading back to the home page. There you'll get to see exactly what you need to do for yourself by answering 8 simple questions. Now, back to Change Payroll Deductions on the Paychex website. You can see pre-tax or traditional contributions first, and Roth or post-tax contributions second. If you aren't familiar with the differences between these two, head over to our specialty class for it, once again in 401k education, and you will see our specialty class for it, Class 301, Roth versus Traditional Deferral. To give an overview though, pre-tax, the first option, or traditional, is likely best if you are over 45 years old and desire tax breaks now. If you are age 45 or less, though, then very likely Roth or post-tax will give you the greatest advantages in tax savings. So, make that decision, head forward, and also note that in this section there is the catch-up contribution section below. This is for those whom are age 50 and one-half or older and want to put more to their 401k. And yes, we do mean 50 and one-half. Basically, if you are born between January and June, you are eligible for this in the calendar year in which you turn 50. If you are born between July and December, you aren't eligible until the calendar year in which you turn 51. Without catch-up contributions, the max you're allowed to do is $17,500, with another $5,500 for this year of 2013, making $23,000. And finally, at the bottom of Change Payroll Deductions, you will see the total of your contributions plus matching if you have any. This section adds it up automatically, which is cool, so just submit again, and you're good to go. The last option is Change Plan, which we won't use, and thus we aren't going to cover. The next major section is Tools and Learning. We've definitely covered a lot of this via the resources available to you at 401k University, but there's one item here that is quite handy, the Net Pay Calculator. Enter your information and select how often you're paid. Remember that biweekly is going to mean 26 times per year, whereas semi-monthly is going to mean 24 times per year. And this will tell you the impact of your contributions. So, if you're using traditional, you get those tax advantages now. You'll notice things aren't quite as heavy of a hit as you might expect, which is what this calculator shows. But by doing Roth, you get the tax-free growth, so you don't really get to go wrong either way. Now, the last section. The last section are the menus across the top of the page. All of the items we've technically discussed are from the first tab of this menu section, Home/My Account. Most of the rest of the data is redundant, simply other ways to get to what we've already done. But there is one exception, and that is the Loans button here. This is how you can take a loan from your 401k if your 401k is provisioned and allows for loans. Generally, the least you can take in a loan is $1,000. And to take a loan, it can't be more than 50% of your vested balance or $50,000, whichever of those two is less. Paychex does a great job of letting you schedule this out and customize it, so we won't go into further detail here, just know that it exists. That's all for our review of the Paychex website. There are a few more fine points out there, but if you have experience with what we covered and the accompanying resources on 401k University, you'll have the conscienta, or knowledge, you need to go far. After that, it's just up to you to have the disciplina, or discipline, to enjoy waylay, or well-being, in retirement. We hope to see you again soon, and thank you for your time and attention.